What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the Bundesliga team of the season and rating them on a tier list. So first and foremost, Nkunku. He has to be first on this list. He's 8.2 million coins, just the same as Jude, which we will get onto in a second, but he is fantastic. If you've not checked the review out, make sure you do at the end of this because he's an absolutely incredible player. At the point of recording his review, he was 10.5 million coins, which is absolutely crackers to think, but most definitely worth every penny. French links, obviously a 5-star, which is perfect, and in terms of his attacking prowess, agility, pace, shooting, is absolutely magical. Then we have Jude, who is one of the top of the tops. We expected him to be, but the fact that he's got 2 upgrades on top of his team of the year, he's had a weak foot upgrade to a 4-star, 5-star, and now everything is above 90 rated. That's a very, very sensational card as well. In terms of centre mids, I don't think there's too many that can really rival with him, unless they're icons. Obviously, someone like a FUT birthday Matthias, a team of the year Hullet, prime Hullet, will be as good in a box-to-box because they have them sort of stats and attributes. But in terms of players, there is very few that rival what Bellingham can do on the ball. Quick agility, got a decent shot on him, can defend, has a physicality, and incredible passing. He's got everything, to be honest, and I think this card is going to be one that everybody will want from their red picks. On to another one, which we just kind of have to keep rolling with this. Musiala, a massive upgrade, and I thought 1 or 2 might be a high rated. I know 95, 96 is a standard for a couple of the higher ones, but 2 97s is a very good team of the season already, and Musiala, a 5-star, 4-star, most definitely, again, another cracking player to have in your team. I know we can't really see this right now. There we go. That's a little bit better. But in terms of Musiala, very good skill moves with obviously the agility that pays the bills. Some decent shooting. Needs a little bit of a chem star to kick his boost. I normally would recommend Hawk. Again, we've got a review on him just to show you what this 3.5 million card can do. And he is, again, a fantastic cam that you can get in there. We then move on to Marco Reus, the actual SBC that you can do from today, and obviously the first one we've got, coming in at a whopping 300,000 coins, which really isn't nothing nowadays. And I can imagine a lot of people will do them once we get Monday out of the way, because obviously we'll get a lot of upgrade. Champs rewards would have happened, and then obviously the repeatable upgrade for more than likely a guaranteed Sane, a guaranteed Schlotterbeck, and also a guaranteed Kobel, which I don't think I can see here. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. There we go, that looks better. But in terms of Marco Reus, an 86, 87, 88, like I say, during the Monday team of the season upgrades, all of that good stuff, you will get the SBC done with very, very minimal cards. You manage to get Frimpong, a LaCroix, a Sane duplicate, you're bound to be able to get him done relatively easy. And normally Marco Reus, once he gets to a certain level, he tends to be quite good in the game. He's obviously got the body type for it. In terms of what they normally upgrade for a card like this, is very good until you kind of just get a few weeks into team of the season. But in terms of everything, he's got good pace, shooting, passing, dribbling's looking good. It's just a very boosted team of the season, which I think is heavily up there. Whether I'd put him in that S category, I feel like more A+ more than anything with him. I think S is most definitely, judging these 3, I would much rather have any of these than I would do Reus personally. We then have Diaby, one of my favourite super subs, and in all round everything, he is an S card, and people may disagree. I feel like in terms of pace, there's very few that are faster. Genuinely, how quick this card has been just in his road to the final version is outstanding. 99 pace since, I think, 3 cards ago now. He had 95 on his 86, 99 obviously on the 91, and then a triple upgrade going into his 94. Shooting's been increased by an extra 4. Well, everything's been increased by 4, bar from obviously the pace. He does now have a 5-star skill as well, which I think for me adds that extra dynamic of dribbling. It may not necessarily give him bounds and bounds of dribbling extra on top, but the movement is so much more sleeker, so much more quicker, that is personally what I always like when they go from a 4 to a 5-star. That's perfect for Diaby, and if he's not an S tier for your starting team as a super sub, he's going to be absolutely perfect. We then also have Ligt. Honestly, this card has had a massive upgrade in terms of what we kind of expected from a Ligt. I thought he should be an okay card, but he's gone from a 90 to a 96, a +8 on that pace, 12 passing, 7 dribbling, and 4 on the physical and obviously the defending. He's elite. He is absolutely elite here. Not only being Dutch with some good links throughout other leagues as well, he is an absolute monster at the back. I did like his one to watch at the start of the game. Managed to kind of get a couple of upgrades, but fell flat for quite some time now. He has managed to get a triple upgrade, which I can imagine not many people saw coming, to be honest. First, second, and third in form, plus then his one to watch obviously going to a 90 rated. The 96 is just a nice cherry on the top, to be honest. Then also Alphonso put himself in the mix again. I feel like in terms of left backs, Capdevila has just swarmed everybody. That's the only left back I see now, other than maybe your casual winter wildcard, Ferland Mendes, and maybe a little bit of Roberto Carlos. It's just Capdevila. He's been in everybody's team and in general is just absolutely nuts. But Alphonso can definitely break that a little bit. I do think, especially in the Bundesliga, if you look at Frimpong, you kind of compare them together. We've got very much wing backs, and as Frimpong already is, obviously with Alphonso, I feel like he's designed to be able to go forward. The dribbling, the passing, the lack of defending and physical on both of them, to be honest. In terms of what we've got previously from Zinchenko, from obviously Trippier, they are always more left back, right backs. They're not right wing backs. We've seen it obviously with Reus James and definitely with these two. They are a 5-back formation and they will be absolutely annoying as hell. Both of them 99 pace. They're both going to be absolutely annoying to play against. They genuinely are. They're going to be so quick. The agility on them is going to be incredible. It's just going to be a pain to go with. And obviously with Frimpong, does have the links to Ligt. I do think both of them are S. Whether you'd agree is a kind of counter argument really, but I think in terms of right back and left back, they are going to be seen quite a lot, and not only in the Bundesliga Cup. And one that I was not really expecting, to be honest, but as we get moments, we get the chance to get a team of the season moments. Mane. What a card. Very much, and I will say that very much like Son. Great pace, shooting's good, dribbling's had a nice upgrade. He's only gone up a double upgrade from obviously his flashback, and I think that was the reason why I didn't expect him to get a moments, because realistically they should have given him a 96 or 97, because a double upgrade for a team of the season is not really an upgrade. The fact that I believe that SBC came out during Team of the Year is criminal, that they've only given him a double upgrade. I just don't see what is the point of only giving him a +2. If you've done the flashback, there's very little need for this. You get a 2 upgrade on everything bar from passing that gets a 3 upgrade. There's just no point. If you've done the flashback, you're absolutely Gucci. He is still definitely an A+, but for me, I think it is a bit of a waste of a moment. I feel like they could have given the card to somebody else, personally. But we move, and on to Goretzka, and what team of the season is Goretzka without Kimmich? Both of them have been in team of the season for longer than I can imagine, to be honest. They are always the pairing. A Kimmich and Goretzka, 95 to 97, have always been that pairing, and they are back again with it. Kimmich looking incredible as a DM. I feel like in terms of a DM, though, they never look as impressive now. Where we've got Goretzka with a full 90 stats across the board, I don't necessarily play, and a lot of people don't necessarily play a solid DM role. It's normally 2 or 3 floating box to boxes that now have incredible pace, incredible defending, incredible passing, dribbling, and shooting. You think about it logically, you could go and get Bellingham and Goretzka. You've already got 2 incredible box-to-box players, which A, have more physical and defending than Kimmich, which is just absolutely nuts. Yes, there is different levels to it. It's not as simply, oh, he's got 95 defending, but he's only got 92. It will go down to more than that, but if you are playing a box-to-box role, and as long as they can defend, you'd much rather go for the box-to-box that can get in the box as well. So for me, Kimmich is going to stick into the A+, and there is no way that I can put a 1.6 million 95 Goretzka with 90 stats and above in anything but S. We then have Lacroix, and first-hand experience with this one. I got him, I think, out of the Foundations pack, I want to say. In terms of the card, on first glance, looks outstanding. A great upgrade for him. Obviously, his last card was at Rule Breakers, which is some time ago now. But don't be deceived by the rating, because he is quick. He is a very good centre-back, but there's no way that he is S-tier centre-back material. You see the 91 pace, you get flutters, you think, oh, okay, this guy's going to be rapid, he's going to have the defending, the physical, and most definitely he can tackle. He's a good centre-back, but he's not on the levels of Varane, of Ruben Diaz, new team of the season, Lucio. He's just not at that level. I'd much rather take Ligt especially, even though, yes, I wasn't expecting the 90 pace, the physical attributes that he brings is absolutely rock solid. He is a beautiful stone wall when it comes to defending. I just don't see it in Lacroix. It's just one of them things. Same with Schlotterbeck. I think he's had a nice upgrade, and to be honest, I would probably rather take Schlotterbeck than I would Lacroix. Even the pace downgrade in terms of the difference between the two cards, but in terms of Schlotterbeck, he's an absolute rock. He's got great physicals on him. Obviously, the defendant's already good, which is what you expect with most of these defenders, but he's just not quite S category either. He's going to be the cheap sort of SBC or cheap sort of player that you can put into your Bundesliga Cup. He's currently coming in at 70,000 coins, which says it all, really. Kobel, 92 rated, 49,000. It's very much a shame that Ramsdale only got a 90 rated keeper, and yet the SBC Alisson is higher rated. Figure that one out. But Kobel 92, it's not a bad looking keeper, to be honest. Again, he's got the nice upgrade. I've never really been a fan of his, I think his inform, his second inform 87. We've used him a handful of times during Bundesliga objectives and different squads that we've built, obviously with the Dortmund nature in mind. He's been average at best. So on that sort of principle, I feel like A is probably quite suited for him. I think if we look at the top of the top keepers, I feel like I'd be lying if I'd go and put him A+. I just don't think he'll do what they do personally. Kolo, though, what a card. We've used his loan in the Bundesliga Cup for 5 games now, and he's been an absolute monster going forward. The pace on him is beautiful. He's got a little bit about him in terms of physicalness. Obviously, being 6'2", he's got that naturally strength build. He's not one-on-one every single time, but you got to remember, you see 78 there. That is remembering that he's got 45 aggression. That's going to play a big part in lowering that stat. He has got 85 strength, so that is, again, a thing that you always got to look at the in-game. Never take a card on its merit, because most definitely he will shock you. But 95 finishing, great pace on him. He's very much like a Kane, but with a little bit more on the agility side. He's not necessarily fluid movement like Neymar, but he's definitely not a stuck-in-the-mud sort of player. As 100,000 coins, I'd be quite happy with him in a Bundesliga team. A+ for him. And now we get down to the wire of things. We have it's Taurum, I want to say is how you pronounce his name, and I'm not even going to pronounce yeah, no, it ain't happening. In terms of him, he's going to be SBC fodder, realistically. He's not going to match up to Lacroix Schlotterbeck, and he most definitely is not going to Ligt's level. There's a reason why they give you some free cards, and he's just one of them that's just going to be literally either a collection in your club, or he's going in the bin as soon as you find an icon SBC. Then, obviously, with a striker, if I can find him, just so I can get my notes. In terms of strength ability, we knew that he was always going to be fantastic. Obviously, there's not many people that have played with him yet. The objective to get him done does take at least 18 games at an absolute minimum, so it will take a time to get him. Great pace on him. He's 6'4", so I can imagine he does run like Kolo, but probably feels a little bit like Kane. Obviously, the finishing's not quite as top-end as Kane, and obviously as well, if I can say that one more time, obviously you'd go with a Hunter for him. 98 pace, 96 shooting, a 96 rated striker for a 90 rated. Honestly, I'd be mixed between these two. If I'm kind of taking him on the basis of Kolo and Harry Kane as well, because they're both very similar in height, obviously stature, build, and also the stats that are presented in front of me. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me know down below if you've played with him, what you think about him, because I'm feeling pretty safe in A, just the fact that he's an objective, but nature always goes with Colo and obviously with Kane. I'm quite happy with the way they play. He looks like he should be about the same. Obviously then, we've got Fulkrug. Fulkrug? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But in terms of the other striker you can get, most definitely fodder. He is pretty much just bog basic. He's going to be able to fill a spot, but he's not necessarily going to do too much for you. The good thing is he's 33k for a 92 rated card. You can't argue with that. You more than likely will get him as an option for a red, and most definitely probably will never use him, unless you've only got Colo in your team and maybe you needed another striker for the Bundesliga Cup. That's probably about it, and realistically it's just going to get him in front of goal and he'll score them. He's not going to outrun somebody. He's what, 6'2" again, high and average build, which normally is the worst build. It just isn't working for him. The one that I didn't think that would actually get it, and again, I'm not a Bundesliga fan, I don't watch it religiously, but Brandt looking like a nice upgrade. 77,000 coins for this 93. He actually wasn't bad. We've used him as a loan as well. Again, not a bad centre mid. Not necessarily the most incredible that we've used, but in terms of what he offers as more of a cam than a centre mid. I hate when they bring him into a centre mid role when they've just got no defending. There's no box-to-box entitlement that he can get. He is a cam more than anything, and if anything, more a winger at times. In terms of the pace, it does let him down a little bit, but you can obviously go again with a hunter. And you can argue him in a lamb or ram role. That would work quite well. I wouldn't necessarily go full centre with him. I would be looking at somebody like a Bellingham and Musiala to go in the middle of that. And then obviously he can play off down the wings. He's got a good amount of passing. The dribbling's pretty good for him. But in terms of kind of the full works, he's not quite a middle cam sort of player for me. In terms of what we can expect from him, centre mid wise, I feel like he probably is in the A+ for right now, and as we go forward with the Bundesliga into La Liga, Serie A, he would definitely hop straight down into that A as soon as we get a couple more cards that warrant themselves in that level. We then have Hoffman, again more of a cam that realistically is going to be more fodder than anything. I don't see it happening for him. We'll put him there. We'll get rid of this section. There's no need anymore. But okay, that's bad. In terms of what he offers, there's very little. What is he? He is 21k for a 90 rated card. Good fodder at the very minimum. 4-star, 4-star. Stats are good. They're good for a 90, but they're just not going to come up to this level. They just don't have to be. And that is the whole point of Team of the Season. You do have cards that are there for purely packable purposes. If you got rid of everybody that isn't needed, you'd only end up with the best cards, and eventually that's not going to be enough. And finally, we have Sane. 91 rated left mid. Can be right mid, cam, and left wing. I've always fancied myself a bit of Sane. He normally puts himself in good positions. His dribbling being, what, 6 foot, left-footed, 4-star, 4-star, which is always good. Last card was an 88, so a triple upgrade from that. Again, like we said, they're not going to upgrade everybody massively, but the pace, the dribbling, the shooting, the passing alone would make a relatively nice cam. He's got the body build for it. I think left mid, he would be good, but if you've got the choice between a Sane and a Diaby, it's just not happening for him. So realistically, I'm gonna go A+. I feel like he's better than Hoffman in terms of a cam by a landslide, but not quite up the top end in the S category. And that is going to be the list for you today. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this. Make sure you check out a video on screen, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.